So it's actually quite late when I'm filming this video, so sorry if it's all dark and you can't see me well, but I do feel like I look presentable enough to make a video right now, so that's why we're doing it now, because I know tomorrow I'm not going to want to do all my makeup and hair if I don't have to. So let's get on with it. For someone who regresses and gets overwhelmed easy, this video might be helpful for you, or if you have autism, this might be helpful for you, but like, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Like, I'm just some girl on the internet sharing my advice, my experience. Yeah, but this is what helps me when I'm having an episode, when I'm overwhelmed, when I start to regress or stress out, especially in public whenever there's a lot going on, like Walmart in particular, or Five Below. Those types of very active stores just overwhelms me to the max, and I dissociate, I get all moody, or like just really crowded, hot, sweaty public spaces where everything is super loud, it's chaotic, there's like those teenagers running around Bubble store, the music is blasting so loud you cannot even hear your own thoughts, the scanners are going off, alarms are going off, there's so many people that you can't even breathe and you just feel suffocated. Yeah, this helps for those moments. So the first tip I want to give you is planning ahead. So if you know you're going to go out into a place that's usually pretty crowded, or you know you're going to a place that, you know, can be overstimulating, overwhelming, kind of make you shut down. So like if you have to go grocery shopping in that store usually, you know, makes you feel yucky, or anywhere in general, if you can plan ahead, wear something comfortable. Don't wear like this is really cute, I love this, but this shirt is actually quite tight. So if I was going somewhere to, you know, like those crazy chaotic stores or environments, something that makes me feel overwhelmed, I would actually change this shirt into something more loose, something more baggy. The jacket's fine, but even like something that's not so skin tight. It's like sweaters are really good, pajama pants, sweats, very baggy t-shirts, jackets. I love sleeves. I don't know why, but hiding my hands feels really comforting. So even wearing like gloves or middies, like getting a big jacket and then hiding like gloves and middies really helps me calm down. Not focusing on the texture of how clothes feel, because for me, when clothes are really tight, I get really hot, I get really itchy, I feel suffocated. So if I know I'm going to an environment that like boosts those feelings, then I want to be less restricted as possible. Avoid tight, hot clothing. Do baggier clothing, especially sweaters, stuff you can hide in. Next advice is actually what helps me the absolute most. So what makes me like very overstimulated is when there's too many noises going on at once, especially like really, really loud noise. So like think of Christmas time, think of Black Friday, everyone's at Target, music is on repeat, blasting through the roof. Think about like all those people running around trying to grab everything off the shelves, and all the yelling and all the children screaming, crying. Just think of that, but like triple that, because that's how my brain takes it all in. What's really been helping me like just kind of mute everything is sounds are a really big thing. So earmuffs, and now that it's getting kind of colder, they're perfect, because like nobody's gonna question anything about having earmuffs on. I know they also make noise canceling headphones, but those really big headphones. But if you want to be like a little bit more discreet, it's like there's nothing wrong with autism or anything. I know we live in a society where you're kind of looked at more, and getting all eyes on you can make it harder, can actually overwhelm you even more, make you feel way more uncomfortable, make you dissociate more. So if you want something a little more discreet from that, and it's not like on the super high end side where you have to have those, but maybe something more in the middle, on the lower side of the spectrum, earmuffs work really well. They also keep your ears warm, but like even now, I can hardly hear what I'm saying because they're so fluffy and they're comfortable. So it's not like, oh, what is on me? Something's touching me. It's just like compression. It muffles everything. Like you can still hear, so you can still have a conversation with someone if you need, like let's say you're going out with family or friends and you still need to be able to communicate and not completely shut off. This is better than noise canceling headphones because you can still hear. Everything's just like softer and quieted down. And they're also cute and stylish, whether you're male, female, gender neutral, long hair, short hair, whatever you're wearing. Pretty much anytime I'm going to a super crowded store, even if it's summer, I'll put these on because they really do help. Also, I would say avoid tighter hairstyles. Like, these are loose braided buns. I don't know if you can really see because it's dark, but like pulling your hair super tight, like in a tight pony or pigtails or anything like that, can actually like give you a headache after a while. And so if all this crazy stuff is going on and you feel that compression, that tightness on your head, it can actually stress you out more. So go for more loose hairstyles, like a low braid, or just letting it down, or like claw clip it up, instead of like going for something super dolled up. The third thing, I used to do this a lot, but they're kind of expensive now, so I don't do it as much, but getting essential oils and like dabbing it. And I would literally just dab it on my clothes and walk around like this. Because like sometimes if you're in really crowded places, especially in America, people can smell musty or sweating. It's hot here, especially in summertime, and that can actually like put you in a grumpy mood. And like, especially if there's so much people, and so like getting essential oils and just like walking around like this, people might think like, oh, what are you doing? But it kind of just looks like you're thinking like, what should I get? But really you're breathing in lavender or rosemary or lemon, and it can actually really help calm you down. There are essential oils for different things. There's for relaxation, there's for sleep, there's for energy, there's for calming, there's stress relief, there's migraine relief, pain relief. There's essential oils for anything and everything under the sun, so you can pick out couples that would fit you best and just like dab it on you. If you do put it on your skin, it can be irritating and it can actually make you rash and get all itchy. So dilute it if you're going to put it on your skin, or put it on the outside of your clothes and just smell it that way. This next one is a little trick and tip I do literally all the time, because I'm the biggest crybaby, especially if I'm overwhelmed. If somebody just looks at me wrong, I'll start crying. I'm very, very sensitive. And if I can feel like I'm gonna cry, but I can't be in a situation where I just need to let it out, having a bottle, not like an actual baby bottle, because I know getting stares in public might make things worse, but like just like a water bottle or a bottle with a straw, anything that you can focus on drinking. So I will always have like a water bottle or like one of those like satchel waters on hand, and so that way when the tears start coming, when you can feel yourself getting worked up, just suck on that bottle, because drinking and having to focus on that and focus on not choking will actually help you not cry. It will help you stop crying, and it will calm you down enough to where you know you won't cry. So I just focus on like drinking juice or water or anything that's in my cup. I do that repeatedly until the tears are no more, and it's worked every single time. I can't tell you how many times I get overwhelmed at work, because I am so sensitive, and I've worked in customer service through my whole life, and if you know anything about customer service, you know those people can be brutal. So just having something like that on hand has saved me a million times, and it will continue. That's a little trick, a tip. Make sure you have something you can like put your mouth on. The next thing kind of goes in with these. It can block out sound. It is like actual headphones listening to music or whatever. But instead of just listening to music, if you really just need to escape the place you're at, but you physically can't, plug in a book, an audio book. But if you can't like pay for Audible, then find something on, there's like stories read off of YouTube, there's podcast of books on Spotify, or you can even listen to a podcast, or even music, or even YouTube videos and just plug it in. But for me, I get so immersed in books that I literally forget that I'm a person and I'm not in some different fantasy world, like living through these characters. And so if I'm like at the store, or even when I'm at like work, and it's when I was at work and it was slower and I just needed to get through the shift, I like just plug in my book, and time just flies by so fast. And it's a little trick to just move whatever scene your current body is in. If you need to move that along, put a book in. You can listen to any kind of book. There are fairy tales, fairy tale retellings, there's fantasy, there's horror, there's romance, anything under the sun. If you want something little inducing, listen to your old like little favorite books like Brother Bear or books like that. But if you want something more grown up so you won't regress, the author called Bram, Slewfoot, Lost Gods, Child Thief, those books, oh my gosh, they will not let you regress, because they're scary. It's more of the thriller horror. There's a bit of gore, but they're really, really good books, and they're so descriptive, and the characters are so fleshed out that it's just so immersive that those books really help me get lost when I really need to. And they're long too, so they're going to come in handy over and over. Belladonna is also a really good one because it's like in between. So it's not as graphic or scary-ish as Brahms stories, as like Slewfoot or Lost Gods, but it's not so childish. I don't think you'd regress from reading it personally. However, Daddy Death, like he's something, and I'll be flushing over the Grim Reaper because he's literally, I love that book. Love me the Grim Reaper now because he's kind of sexy in it, not gonna lie. And maybe if you are into that kind of thing, it's a romance between literally a girl who's immortal who can't die and Daddy Death. Like he's literally a shadow man with tentacles, yes. And the last thing I would say, if none of these things have helped you, try pairing them all together. Plug in that audiobook, put the ear muffies on top, hide your hands, wear loose clothing, have essential oils on you, have your bottle to suck on whenever you can feel the tears coming. If none of that, all of that together still doesn't work, leave if you can. I know you can't always leave if you're with family. Like, let's say you're a bit younger, because I've had this problem ever since like I was little and still do. I would just ask to go sit in the car. If you are someone that's older, but like let's say you're in the middle of shopping and you can feel the overwhelmingness, ask a staff to watch your cart, like your grocery cart. Say, oh, I forgot something in my car. Can you keep this for me right here? I'll come back and get it. More than likely, they're going to say yes. Step outside, take a breath, relax, come back in when the emotions are settled. I want you to be able to get through it and work the steps to get out, like to come back and not like completely give up and leave and shut the world down, because we have to be out and about. But if you really need a breath of air, take that breath of air. Do not like, if you can feel that panic attack coming, or you can feel the mood swings hitting you really hard, and you know you're putting yourself in a worse situation by being in this place, then leave the place. Take care of yourself first. I would just say really just try to get outside, reconnect with nature, whatever it may be. Like look up at the clouds, or if it's raining, look at the rain, find birds and talk to the birds. I love to talk to the birds outside of stores. I know it's crazy, but I'm never going to see those people outside that store again, so who cares if they see me trying to feed a pigeon pebbles, like. So I just think it's good to just kind of reconnect with yourself and take a breath, and once you're calmed down, go back in the store. And if you really cannot do it, there's always tomorrow to try again. So don't give up on yourself. I know it can be hard living in a world that is not like revolved around us. Like, I don't know how to say it, like people that regress easy, or people that with autism, like the world is not suited for us, and so we have to adapt to that. But you'll get through it, you'll make it through it. Put your ear muffies on, and I believe in you. Don't stress yourself out too much. You'll navigate this world. I believe in you. One more thing I forgot to mention before the outro, clipping something onto your pants or even your shirt, of like little stuffy keychains, because I know if you take a stuffed animal into a full store, which like you can, I take my bunny in with me all the time and she's a stuffed animal. I literally set her in my shirt. But if you're not comfortable doing that, having a small squishy or stuffy or a fidget and like squishing it, it's really good for just like taking your mind off stuff and just having something to hold. And nobody's really gonna, like, everybody has fidgets now, so like nobody's gonna think of anything if you have something you're squishing. Okay, well, thank you for watching so much. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good life. Always be true to yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.